Yeah, good evening. My name is Engineer Eddy Itulah. You are welcome to another wonderful insight of Aviation Maintenance Insight Podcast, a podcast that is dedicated to educate and enlighten aircraft maintenance engineers with practical knowledge, regulatory guidance, and safety protocol. Joining me for discussion this evening is Engineer Nancy Omar Ahmed. Before we dive in, I will kindly invite Engineer Nancy to give us a little background about himself.
Hello, good evening. I'm Engineer Umar Nasir Ahmed. I'm a graduate of Peace-Bock Institute of Aeronautics, United States of America. I have B1, B2 EASA certification from Germany. I also have a certification from National Center for Aerospace and Transportation Technology, United States of America. I'm operated on Embraer 135145 and Legacy 600 and 650 aircraft.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer, for that wonderful introduction. I
Welcome.
want to assure you that we'll be exploring his practical experience and hands-on knowledge that he has gathered over the years as we continue this conversation. Engineer, please, can you take us on your journey through the aircraft maintenance aviation career?
Yes, I have been in aviation industry for more than a decade now. I started as a trainee, worked my way to licensed aircraft maintenance engineer, 16 years working experience. I participated in several PDM and reactivation of several aircrafts.
Okay, that's a great to hear. That's a wonderful one. Okay, can you tell us what necessitated or what motivated you to become an aircraft maintenance engineer?
It's just a personal. I have the passion of being an engineer right from day one. I want to see myself participating and promoting the aviation industry in my country. So I want to see fixing the machine. We fix and they fly.
Yes,
So
that is our slogan. That's our slogan. We are the one that fix why the pilots fly. Thank you very much. It's quite insightful to know how engineers find their way into this great profession. Now, let's talk on realities. That is the regulatory body like the NCAA. How does their law and regulations impact your work on daily basis?
Yeah, NCAA is doing a great job because they are the watchdog of the civil aviation in Nigeria. They monitor, they maintain standard practice, they ensure safety is carried out. So they are doing a great job.
Okay, fine. That's a wonderful one because the NCAA, they are there to guide both those that fly and those that maintain to ensure that our skies are safe. So, how do you and your team approach safety culture in your work environments?
Yeah, in our team, we treat safety as a core value rather than just a compliance requirement. It starts with a collective mindset that every task, no matter how routine, has safety implication. We also ensure strict adherence to approved maintenance data, regulatory standards, and company procedure. But beyond that, we promote an environment where everyone feels responsible and empowered to speak up.
Oh, that's a great one because safety is all our collective responsibility, irrespective of who the person is, whether a maintenance personnel, a cleaner, an administrative staff. We all must put our hands on deck to ensure that safety is achieved because safety is very paramount. Okay, now that takes me to the next question we have for our discussion. Can you tell us what has been the most challenging situation you have ever faced since you enter into this profession?
Yeah, the challenges we have presently is technical enhancement. As the aircraft system become more complex day by day, changes in regulations, stuff like that. So we have to be in the same speed.
Okay, okay. That's a great one because you must continue moving. It's all about learning, and we keep learning and we keep learning in order to meet up with the demands. So, can you please share light on your most memorable experience that you have gathered over the years, something that has given you joy, that when you did it and you were proud of yourself that, yes, I've achieved a great milestone?
Yeah, what I can never forget in my life is reactivating an aircraft that was grounded for more than 20 years. It was a great achievement for me and my team. As I'm talking to you now, the aircraft is still flying.
Oh, that's a glorious one.
Yeah.
That's commendable. It's a great achievement, and I know it's commitment and dedication that leads to that excellent achievement. It's a great one. So that take us further to how have you seen technology and modern regulations impacting your work?
Yes, there's a great impact on that aspect because the changes in analog to digital, digital to artificial intelligence now. So the aircraft, the work becomes so easier, unlike before.
Oh, that's good. That's nice to hear because the we know that in the 80s and 70s, we know that most of those things we took time to diagnose faults, to troubleshoot. But now with the advent of AI, you can use machine to not diagnose and know what the problem is, which makes the task quite easier. That's a great one. So as we begin to wrap up gradually, if you are privileged to share your lessons with the younger ones just joining in the industry, what would that be?
Yeah, first, they should master the basics, which is a strong understanding of fundamentals and strict respect for procedures. Will set the foundation for everything you do in aviation maintenance. Then secondly, they should never compromise safety to convenience or time pressure in this industry because small mistakes can have a significant consequences. So always take the time to do the job right.
Okay. Now, I would like to ask you another question, please. How do you cope with pressure and still maintaining efficiency? Because we know that due to the turnaround of our aircraft in our civil aviations, at times that there tends to be pressure from the management. How do you combine all these efforts? How do you manage it and still ensure that the proper thing is done?
Yeah, pressure is a great disease to our profession, especially from the top, because sometimes you see engineers cutting corners to do the job, and this can lead us to serious damages in the industry. So we always advise them or tell them to take their time and do it right, because safety is paramount, and to save costs, you have to do it right.
Okay, thank you very much for that elaborate explanation. Okay, I will also like to ask you another question. Being that you were in the military aviation and you have gradually over the years transitioned into the civil aviation, where do you tend to see yourself in the civil aviation in the next 5 to 10 years? Let's look at that critically because I know that there is supposed to be a career progression.
Yeah, what I can say, there's a little changes, but every maintenance work is the same thing, the machine, the procedure, the standard practice. But the only difference is the regulation, because in civil aviation, regulation is very strict. You have to abide with the regulation. So that is just the differences from military and civil aviation. So it's not a big thing. I can easily transit from military to civil.
Yes, I quite understand that. What I mean in reality, in terms of career progression, where do you tend to be in the next 5 to 10 years in the civil aviation? Haven't grown
Yeah,
from the rank in the military aviation to the point to the heights you attain. I know that you were trained both home and abroad. You have a series of training by the military aviation. Now that you have transitioned into the civil aviation, What are your projections in terms of career development?
Yeah, I would like to be a base maintenance manager or maybe director of continuous airworthiness, something like that.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Yes.
Okay, as we gradually before I wrap up finally, if you have the opportunity or if you are privileged to start your career again, what is that great one advice that you would like to give yourself?
Yeah, to always trust myself and have confidence on everything I do.
Okay,
Because
that's a great one.
confidence matters a lot in an engineering work.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great one. Okay, I will this will be my last question, hopefully. Now, what is that one thing or what is that one skill that distinguish an average engineer from the great ones or from the exceptional ones that will feel that yes, this guy is an excellent in is excellent in his job? What do you think that thing is that distinguish an average personality from the exceptional ones?
Yeah, great engineers always pay detailed attention when performing maintenance work, because an oversight can cause a serious injury or serious disaster in aviation industries.
Okay,
Because
okay.
a senior
So
engineer must have attained several safety and human factor courses that will lead him to have that conscious.
okay. So
Yeah.
I quite understand that. So for you to be excellent in your job, you must be committed, safety conscious, and being meticulous in your day-to-day activities. That's wonderful. Engineer Nancy, it's a privilege having you on the show. Thank you once again for having you. I will still advise that you play safe, stay compliant, and keep learning because that is what will keep the industry growing and moving. Thank you very much. For our audience listening to us, we appreciate you. See you in the next episode.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome.